Alrighty, looks like we are live here. How's everybody going here? Today we are providing the live winter storm coverage as it's ongoing right outside your window. So, waiting for a couple people to come in here. We're going to be on here for a little while here, providing some live winter weather coverage for you here. So, welcome in everybody. I do have to fix couple things. So while people are coming in, we will get that all taken care of. So let's get this in place. So welcome everybody. How are you guys doing? Let's make sure we share this live stream to everybody here as we're going to be providing live winter weather coverage. So welcome everybody. We're going to be going letting you know what's happening, and we're going to be breaking down everything for you in this live stream and provide live updates, timely updates straight to you. So welcome everybody. How are you guys doing? A pop-up live stream here. So let's wait just for a couple more people to come in here. You can see right now on your screen, we are monitoring the highway cameras here. We're currently looking at 170 and about 64 starting to pop up on our screen here. And roads are becoming covered now. So roads are going to be impacted. And like we mentioned yesterday, that the salt is just not going to be effective. So, and we're not really in the threshold yet where you can technically throw down the plows. So that is something that I do want to let you guys know here. But let's go ahead and share out the live stream here. Just give me a couple moments here to get the live stream out. And if you want to, we are also on YouTube as well. So if you want us to be on your TV, be in the background, that is certainly available to you as well. So how's everybody doing today? Glad to see you guys here. Thank you so much for joining. We're just getting a little bit of the other things ready, and then we'll get into our live stream. So welcome everybody. Glad to see you guys all here. And it's here. You see it outside. You see it on our cameras here on your screen. It is going crazy outside. And this is right on schedule as well. So just like we're expecting here. So we'll go over to the radar. And you can see the radar on your screen. Those are the wind chills that you see. I'm not too sure if you can see that or not. But that is the wind chill values. That's not the actual air temperature. And you see the heaviest band currently. Let me get the Epic pen up so we can draw on here. And the heaviest, good morning, Leslie. Glad to see you here. You can see the heaviest band is right over us. Oh, I'm not sure if you'll actually pick it up, but the heaviest band is right on top of us. You can see right in the pink. Here is where we're seeing the heaviest snowfall right now. And that is verifying with our cameras. If we go back over to the camera page, you can see it does align that most of our area is seeing decent light snowfall right now. And remember, it's not too heavy right now because we're not in the big event. So the heaviest event is still going to be this evening. But what happened is, let's take a look at, let's see if we can get this loaded up. Give me 1 second, everybody. I think we're going to switch programs, make it a little bit easier. Okay. Let's get this. Give me 1 second. But, oh, you're very welcome, Lauren. Glad to see you here. Hopefully, you're not out Ubering this, but if you do, make sure you're taking it slow for us out there. But you can see on the screen here, it's a little bit better here on our winter radar. You see the darker blues. Oh, I'm not sure why it's not popping up here. Let's see. Let's go to our other map here, see if it wants to draw. Okay, so we'll just have to do it that way. Okay. So you see here the darker blues that are on your screen here. That is the heavy snowfall. That's why we're seeing the heavy flurries on the live cameras. You can see down below we do have some couple of area cameras that we're seeing. So we are seeing some heavier snow bands. And like I said, this is not the main event here. This is just the beginning because we still have a whole bunch of more snow to go with this system. So like I said, this is just the beginning stages, and you can see what it's already doing here. So what we have to watch for the second part is down to our southwest, and unfortunately right now it does not look like there's a break in activity that's going to be coming soon. So we are not going to be having a lot of pauses. So basically what I'm saying, the snowfall accumulations will unfortunately be on that higher end of things, because so far we're not really seeing any stoppage with this winter system. But right now across the area we do have light to moderate snowfall and snow flurries that are going around the St. Louis area. So that is what's currently happening. We will be coming back to the live radar page in just a second, but let's go around town, look at some cameras here, and you can see this is right down near the Sullivan area. This is where the first part of the storm was. They got to see it first. I had tons of reports coming out there that there's snow, and for the most part here, you can see it's all the way down to a dusting. Not really too much, just a dusting right now, but remember, we have more snow to come, and where we see those heavier snowfall bands is where the heaviest snow is going to be falling. So let's go over to camera 2, if we can take camera 2. This is still a new camera system that we're working with here. And this is camera 2, is down near just south of the Festus area, and you can see the same conditions here as well. It's almost exactly like Sullivan. So like I said, they are not in the heaviest snow band right now near the Festus area, but you can see it is snowing. Don't worry, everybody, it is still snowing. Hello, Dad, how's it going? Glad to see you. But it is, like I said, it is snowing. The system is here. It is performing well. So that is one thing to note here. Let's see what else we got loaded up here. Looks like we got the 70 West camera here, and you can see highways are flowing. They are trying to stay clear for the most part, but you can see the roads, and especially the shoulders, are struggling to keep up. And then the outer roads, MoDOT, if you have an outer road by MoDOT, they're probably most likely not going to get to it. So, like I said, the impacts are coming through, and make sure you're sharing out this live stream, because we're going to be here for a little bit, talking with you and telling you what's going on. After we get through the live cameras, we'll show you the latest data that we have. So that is what we need to know. And this is at 141. And you can see 141 is just a little bit rough here. It is probably the worst that we have right now. So 141 here. This is at Carmen facing the north here. And you can see the roads are passable, but you can see slowly and surely it is popping up with snow accumulations. Brenda says snowing pretty good here in Dogtown. Oh yes, because let's go back to the radar here. Radar with our live area cameras. We appreciate all of them down there. The Creve Coeur Airport, Oakville WX, and we also appreciate the Pacific Railroad system down there providing us the feeds. But anyways, why we're seeing those accumulations is we do have those heavier snow bands here. That is why we did get the report from Brenda that heavy snowfall is being reported, because you see the darker colors on the screen is indicating the heaviest snowfall right now. So that is expected, and it's right on schedule. Basically what was happening is the dry air, you can see still up here, you see the dry air, see how it's like open? That was dry air trying to push in, trying to block the storm. So, or let's take this. It feels so weird that I can't use the Epic Pen, so I apologize. But basically right here you can see Springfield all the way down to Hillsborough, Vandalia, Effingham. That was the dry air that was coming down, and originally we thought it was going to help us. But you can see the dry air is just getting pushed back, is getting pushed away, and that's how we're having our snowfall. So that is exactly what's happening up in the atmosphere. Is the dry air was winning for a moment. It was winning, but now as the system is moving through, it is pushing out of the way. So that is unfortunately not good news. And basically the easiest way to understand it is we're still on track to get some snowfall. The dusting to only an inch that people were thinking is just not going to happen. I do expect to see more snow. And let's go to the models here, and we will give you the latest update of what to expect. So let's go to the model page here. And while I get the models loaded up, we can see the live cameras around the area. is showing the snowfall. MoDOT is doing its best, but basically what's helping is the traffic. The car traffic is on the highway. Remember, it's a dry powdery snow. You can see it outside. It's very dry, so it's going to blow. So when cars drive over it, it's going to blow and it's going to take it with it. So that's what it's doing right now, and that's why the roads look clear, but we don't need you to go out, okay? We don't want you to go out. We don't want to find out how slick those roads are because they are going to be very slick. Snowing like crazy in Washington, Missouri? Oh, yes, the snow is here, everybody. And I know you guys are going to ask the question, is snowing hard? Do you think it's going to overperform? Well, let's take a look at the data here. So, latest data that we have, we're going to go through all the models here, timing and everything of what we can see. And basically, I just want to throw a disclaimer out there that these models that you see are nowcasting, which is basically is taking what's going on right now and it's predicting the future. So that is what it's doing. Besides taking data and temperatures, it's just forecasting what it is right now. So that is something to note there. So let's get the model page, and we're going to be going over the model page to tell you what's still coming up the bat. Jeff is saying big old flakes coming down in Lindenwood. Oh, yes, we have big flakes here out the studio. Pretty sure you guys saw in the video. You guys really like those videos, but the flakes are a little bit bigger than that. So that is something. We're not in the hamster style, okay, everybody? We're not at hamsters yet, but we're going to get very, very close. So let's take a look at timing here, everybody. Let's take a look at the screen here. Timing, just like in our weather videos, is in the exact same spot as our live stream as well. So let's take a look at what we can see. And data is still pulling in, so we have to take a look here. See, this model starts at 6 a.m. And you can see it's going to be snowing all day. The European model has been very consistent with this, but we really won't start seeing the big accumulating snow, not the flake size, but the accumulating snow till the overnight hours. And if you guys want, we can provide the live stream as well. We're not going to be on here all day. We're going to have spurts of live streams, but you can see as we get almost towards midnight, the model is suggesting this is where we're going to get our big snowstorm. So like I said, this is just the main event, and you know, it must not look like much now. You guys don't think it's much now, but trust me, it is still coming. And look, you can see the snow bands here, how we have individual snow, basically the lines here, and some of it's light. That is where the heaviest part is going to go. Just like we have now. We have the heavy snow band over most of us. That is why we're having the snow band and the heavy snowfall right now. So that is what is going on. And as we go into Sunday, it's still going to be going. So if you don't have to be anywhere on Sunday, that is when we really don't want you to go out. Sunday morning, you do not need to go out, okay? It's not going to be worth it. Please stay home. Sunday is the big travel no-no. Sunday morning is a big travel no-no. And then to answer most of the questions, when will it end? By the evening time. Evening time, we mean 5, 6, 7 o'clock. It's when we're most confident it is going to be out of the area. But let's go to our future radar here, of our high resolution radar, and this updates hourly. So let's take a look to see what the latest data is. So right now it is on point because, you know, it's showing that it's snowing right now. But as we get into the afternoon time, maybe there is a little bit of a break. A little bit of a break here in our northern counties near Troy and Warrenton, where it might pause for a little bit, and that will drastically change the totals. But then you can see as we go into the evening time, especially the late night hours, this system is going to pick up. So you can see this model is thinking the same thing. And remember, this thinks hourly as well. So 8 p.m., 7, 6 p.m., and then all the way into the overnight hours, even in out the door, we will see the most heaviest snowfall. So like I said, there is still lots and lots of more snow to come, and we will take a look at the latest snow amount update from the National Weather Service here. And let's take a look at the amount here, the latest amount that we have from the National Weather Service. I'm going to take a drink of my water real quickly. So, the latest amount coming from the National Weather Service at 10:17 is they are still holding strong that it is between a 6 to 7, 10-inch range for most of us. And then as you get almost towards the I-70 corridor in St. Louis, we will be towards the 5 to 8, 5 to 9 range. So that is the current total. So the totals have not been shifting a whole lot. There is still time for the totals to either go up, to either go down. There is still probabilities of it overperforming. It always is a possibility of overperforming. But the likelihood of it underperforming, like basically, it's just going to stop in a little bit, very unlikely. And you can see the totals here. Let's go back to, this is why I posted earlier. The minimum totals have jumped a little bit since our last live stream. Most of us, even in Illinois, most of us, majority of us, are guaranteed to see at least 5 inches of snow. 5 inches of snow is what we're almost guaranteed to get. Lower amounts towards the Troy area. I know we have a couple people in the Troy area. A little bit lower amounts at the bare minimum. And then you see down in Potosi. If you're down in Potosi, I know we have few followers down there. And then southern Jefferson County over into, I think that's Monroe County over there. And then all the way near St. Clair. You guys are most likely going to get the heavy hitter snow. You guys are going to be reporting back heavy amounts of snow. Because as well, I got a couple messages that it has started earlier than what we expected. So lots of higher snowfall amounts is what to expect. And you see down near Cape Girardeau, it's a little bit lower once you get to Paducah, just because they'll have a sleet risk. So that is what we're expecting. Now, one thing I do want to let you guys know, this is also a live update and analysis. So basically, I do want to let you guys know, currently at this time, none of the models are on track as far as timing goes. Timing is still all over the place, amounts are still all over the place, but one thing I do want to let you guys know is that in the recent data, let's see if we can find it. Not sure. Let's go to, okay, so we have the 12. I'm going to turn on the lightning, because at one point in the data, it did show that there was some small lightning activity. And I just want to clarify that the lightning activity is not in our area. None of the counties that we cover here on Team Kenny Weather. But it does show, you can see a little bit this morning, but that's about it. And then it really picks up going towards the south here. Look at the south. You can see the lightning, and that's just sleet. It's just thunder sleet. It's not thunder snow. We're not going to see thunder snow, but you can see a little bit of it. It almost doesn't even pick up. It says 0 flashes per 5 minutes kilometers square. So that is also what we're seeing here. So no thunder lightning at all. So nothing like that is going to be happening. That is almost unrealistic there. So, but you can see as we go back into the radar here, let's go back to the radar. Lots of snow around the area. So, like I said, everything is on track. Everything is on board with what's going on. Nothing is out of the ordinary. So, everything is just as expected here. So, taking a look at some data here. We are getting multiple slide-off reports. So, unfortunately, there is people out there. We don't want you guys out there, okay? For most of you guys are doing a great job. You guys are staying inside. You guys are watching my updates on the Facebook page. You guys are staying well aware of what's going on. You guys are doing a great job. So, I'm proud of you guys. Now, for the other folks, we need to make sure that they're inside. Susanna says, in Festus, Missouri, just relaxing, getting the best weather updates from you, Kenny. Great job as always. Well, I really appreciate that. You guys almost make me blush with your guys' comments. I really do appreciate the support that you guys have on the weather page. And we are so close. That's not the point of the live stream, but we are so close to 900 followers. I said this yesterday, I never thought we'll get there. We're at, I don't even know at this point, but we are at 892. We're at 892 followers, and that just blows me away how supportive you guys are. But yes, everything is going as planned, but we are getting some slide off reports. I'm going to see if we can pull up any of the cameras, see if we can get some visuals out there, what's happening. We do have our live videos down below, but just to give you guys some context of actually what's going on out there. MoDOT is out there. I have seen them on the live cameras, everybody. MoDOT is out there, and for the most part, they're trying to do their best, but you really can't. Basically, what's happening is that there is no tornado warning. I don't know why it just went off. There's no tornado warning. There's no tornado warning for our area. So, that is, yeah, don't mind that. I don't know what happened with that. But, what I was trying to say is, yes, you don't want to be out. And MoDOT is out there, but they can't put salt down. They're really in a trouble here because the salt won't work. It's too cold outside. And then there's not enough snow to plow. So, they're basically just out there riding around town until it gets to a point where they can start plowing. But let's see if we can get a live incident, but it looks like everybody is doing just okay. MoDOT is really not reporting any live incidents, and not sure. Okay, let's get to 55 and 141. Let's see if we can get here. Hold on, everybody. You guys are going to see how I had to change my cameras. So let's go here, because MoDOT, let's take a look. Yeah, you can see. I have to fix this. I have no idea why it does this, but I don't think it has 141 loaded up. Okay, let's go. I know it's a lot of changing. Gonna try not to give you guys any seizures here. But you can see as we're fast forwarding through all the cameras, MoDOT is out there. And you can see at the very top, that's the MoDOT trucks going on the highway. So MoDOT is up there as well. Holly says Snownado. Yeah, that's what he wanted. He wanted to get the tornado alert, but there's no tornadoes that are going to be out there. I don't even know how it happened, honestly, because it's supposed to change the color of the screen. So just a little bit of error there. But thanks for tuning in for Peevely here. And you can see most of the highways, they're trying to stay clear, but it's not the main event. So it might fool you in this think, oh, it's not that bad. Don't worry. The so-called badness is coming later tonight. So right now, we're going to have this live stream. Here's the schedule, everybody. So right now, we're going to have this live stream just for a little bit. We're not going to stay on too long because, in my opinion, when you get the snowstorm, there's really not much to talk about. And we'll have more updates out in the freezing cold winter weather, and then we'll be on later tonight, this evening. So we're going to have a live stream for a couple more, maybe a couple hours, and then we'll do a couple more updates. We'll be posting, obviously, as well, and we'll be live tonight. I think around like 7 p.m. 7 p.m. until who knows how long, because that's going to be the juicy part. That's going to be the filet mignon of the snow event. It's going to be the really good part. So Leslie says, in Fenton, it's a good day for making a big old pot of chili, watching a big flake coming down. Oh, yes, the big flakes are coming down. Perfect day for chili, in my opinion. So that is that. But right now, this is expected, but you can see the heavier snow bands are shaping up to be around our area, which is just fine. It could impact the totals a little bit more. Let's go back to the radar here. In my opinion, I do think the totals could slightly go up a little bit. We were just thinking in our live update about 1 inch to 3 inches. Could be a little bit higher on that, but we just have to see how it is. The problem is, it's a dry powder snow. Okay, it's a dry powder snow, so it can blow around easily, and it takes a little bit longer to fully stick and get the amount. So that is one thing to be watching out for. But we're not seeing any snowfall reports that are coming in, but if you have any updates or pictures, I'd love to see them, and we'll get you up here on the live stream. I'd love to see the pictures, the amounts, and we will send it to the National Weather Service for you as well. So we'll make sure we get all that taken care of. But like I said, right now, typical St. Louis snowstorm, okay? Typical St. Louis snowstorm is happening this here. We're seeing some heavier bands. We have to see as well what this other back half does back here. So that is something to be watching here. But let's take a look at our rotating live cameras here. Let's see, take a look at the live cameras if I can find it. And you can see around the area, you can see the city plows are out there, but this just rotates. So one camera goes to the next spot and then the next spot after that. We don't have the full setup ready just yet. But you can see we take a look around the area and you can see the plows are doing good. MoDOT is doing okay. You can see the side streets are not in good condition. So looks like we just had a crash up there at the 64 and Grand. That is in the second row and the second spot is where we're seeing that. We'll get that load up here. So give me just a second. We'll take that live. But it looks like we do have an incident right at the 64 and Grand. And also, do you guys see how much traffic is out there? There is too many of you guys that are out there right now. We should not be out there. It might not look like a lot, and you think it hit the grocery store a little bit, but it is. We need to get off the road, everybody. We need to be off the road, especially going into tomorrow. We don't need to be on the road. We don't need to put our emergency crews at risk as well. Because remember, they have to go out in this as well. They're not, there's no special ability for them, to not have any impacts. They could always slide off as well. Some of the fire trucks, they're not four-wheel drive, so we really don't need to be out. There's just lots of traffic out. Too much traffic out. So let's see if we can get that camera pulled up. That's 64 at the Hampton area. And it looks like I don't have that loaded up. So let's try to get this pulled up. It looks like I don't have that camera, but we'll go back. We'll just keep it right here. But yes, one thing I am, not enjoying is that there's too many of us out there. There is way too many of you guys that are out there right now. So let's see. Let me get the live camera. 64 at Hampton. Not Vandeventer. Not too. I don't know my streets once I get on 64. So that is something to know. But it does look like it is very slow. And remember, everybody, once we get to this point where we have a lot of traffic brewing up, MoDOT cannot get through. So, it's just, basically, it's just too much. It's not good. But you can see as we go through, this snow is not stopping anytime soon. And we'll throw out the watches and warnings as well. You can see outlined in pink here, we are still in the winter storm warning. And it does go all the way through until 6 p.m. So travel could be very difficult to impossible. Heavy snow, additional snow accumulations between 6 and 12 inches will be possible. So they have not adjusted their impacts, and look how many people are in this. So you can see we do have the Mizzou game that's going to be going on, the Mizzou basketball game. So that is some events that we do have going on. St. Louis Blues is also playing tonight. Highly not recommend going to the St. Louis Blues game. So we do have the St. Louis Blues go. And honestly, they're not even doing good enough to go out in the snow. But that's just my personal opinion. And we also have some other events that are postponed. The Shady Grove Winter Weekend, that is obviously postponed. I assume the Missouri Indie Fest is also going to be postponed as well. And it does look like we have some wrestling and some women's basketball that is going to be going on. And hopefully they get canceled because you do not want to be out in that. So that is a couple events that are going to be going on. We do not need to be going out to them because you might be able to get there, but you're not going to be able to get home. And look at this, everybody. We have, you can't see, we have 316,000 homes affected by this and 715,000 people affected. And then it also gives the breakdown of what it is. So 568 fire and emergency medical service stations. So that is crazy. Local law enforcement stations 339, 643 nursing homes, and 529 mobile parks. So lots of people are in this. You can see schools, 1,101 schools. So lots of people are in this. We really need to take this seriously. And this warning goes 16,727 miles squared. So lots of area that is covered in this situation. So live cameras, you can see here, still showing heavy impacts. You know, that's basically what we're going to be talking about all day. We're going to sound like a broken record, but the snowfall is here, and as well, this is not going to be just a couple hours snowfall. It's starting now, and it's not going to end until we get about, 6 p.m. tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, not tomorrow evening, tomorrow night. But the heaviest impacts are going to be into the evening. I mean, anytime there's snow on the ground, there's already impacts, but I think the major impacts where we won't see pavement in these live cameras till the evening. So right now, it may be okay now, but it's not going to be okay later. So, but we still don't want you guys to go out. We want you guys to stay inside as well. So we don't want you guys to be out there. So in the chat, I want to know, let me know in the chat how much snow do you guys think we're going to get? I'm just curious. How much snow, including what's already on the ground now, not what's coming later, but how much do you guys think we're going to get now? In my personal opinion, I still think 8 inches is still on the board. And my fellow forecaster behind the scenes, Josh, he still thinks that it will be 8 inches. So you can see MoDOT just passed on the screen there, the bottom part of your screen. So I still think the snowfall amounts will be possible, but I want to know what you guys think in the chat. I think we're still going to have a decent snowfall. This is going to be very nice. I think everything is still on track. I don't see any, basically, bust potential, basically factors. Everything's in place to have a significant snowfall. Kay Matthews, hello Kay, glad to see you. You say 8 inches? Okay, so we're thinking right on schedule. So most of my other people that I have talked to, they also think around 8 to 9 inches of snow. So that is what's happening. But you can see the dry air is basically goodbye on the radar. If we go back into the radar here, dry air no longer here. The shield is no longer there, and that's why it's opening up the door for very heavy snowfall around the area. Holly says 9 in Peevely. Yes, Peevely, Holly. Peevely could see a little bit more down south down there. We can see a little bit more, so don't be surprised if you see a little bit up there. And, speaking of Peevely, let's go to the live camera here, down near the Peevely area, and we will go just a little bit farther south here. And let's go to about where the gas station is, where Mr. Fuel is. I'm pretty sure you probably know where Mr. Fuel is, but here's the live camera. And you can see down in 55, you're right between the snow band. Look at the bottom left-hand part of the screen here. You can see right now near the Peevely area, Holly, especially, you're like, I don't know if you can see it, but you're like right in the lighter part of the snow. You have heavy snow towards the north, and you have heavier snow towards the south. So you're like right in between of what's happening here. Hello, Gene. Glad to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Says great work, Kenny. Thanks. Oh, you're very welcome. Yes. Far as the bus impacts, we're going to be seeing delays across the metro stations. There's just no other way to get around it. There's going to be bus delays, and bus delays could go all the way into next week, depending on how the city crews and MoDOT crews keep up with the road. So that is the update there. Not too sure how the Metrolink is going to be going, so not sure how they operate, but big impacts are expected in the Metro bus department. I think it's Hylip. I think I said it correctly, but it says our own meteorologist. Thank you. I do appreciate that. Not a meteorologist, just a weather enthusiast that I have a lot of passion for. Let's see, John. Hello, John. I think you're still down in Farmington. You're gonna have a great snowstorm. I really want to see a picture down from there. So later or after tomorrow, make sure you send a picture to me. Really love to see. You guys are gonna see plenty of snow down there. Says how much rain would that equal? You know, that is a very good question. Let's jump back into the models. But right now, everything is holding okay. You know, this is not the significant part. So if you don't think it's bad, you are correct because it's not the main event. Just want to let you guys know that it is not the main event. So there's the live cameras. We're going to take down the live cameras just so we can go into the weather models here. Let's get the weather models back up. One moment, please. Thank you for that nice compliment. Tell me I'm doing a great job. I really do appreciate that. And like I said yesterday, there's really no need to panic. Everything is going just fine. We are going to be just okay. And I also want to let you guys know that we're not going to be snowed in until July 1st, okay? So we will be okay. So let me get a couple things fixed, and then we'll go into the equivalent of the amount. So let's go with the latest data that we have. And the latest data that we have was from this morning. So unfortunately, hey everyone, unfortunately, the HRRR did uptrend. And what we mean by uptrend is going to go towards the higher end of things, around the 8 to 9 inches. So remember yesterday I was talking about that we can't look at the snowfall totals. We still can. The snow is just too dry. We're too below freezing. The 10-to-1 ratio is only if the temperatures are just below freezing and you just want to see if it's going to stick. That's basically what it is. So, but let's take a look at the snowfall here, and basically let's get my calculations up. I have to get the conversions here just to make it faster, because if I have to do the conversions on the spot, we're going to be here until the snowfall is over, giving you the numbers. So let's see, let's get that. So basically on the low end of things, you can see we do have 0.7 inches of snow. Let's see. Okay, there we go. All right, give me 1 second here. Okay, we got the ratio. So basically, we'll go over to hover, and you can see 0.6, 0.5. Yesterday, we were talking about the 0.4 inches of rain. And the ratios, remember the ratios that we talked about yesterday? 10 inches of snow per 1 inch of rain, depending on what the ratio is. But we can't use that. We are more talking about the 12 to maybe 15 on the high end. So, oh yes, panic. Yes, if you're already out and you're stuck, you have a right to panic because it's not going to get any better, okay? Says, can you come get me at 2:30, please? I mean, would you guys like to see that live conditions? I mean, I just told you guys not to go out, but live in the field conditions, we'll think about it. But anyways here, look at the totals here. let's not get too distracted here. So about 0.6, 0.62 here, all the way down towards, you can see almost near Farmington, almost to an inch. And remember, if we're using a 13-to-1 inch ratio, that's a foot of snow right there, maybe a little bit more towards the south. But around our area, what we're seeing here on the high end is around 9 inches of snow roughly. Maybe just a little bit towards the 8 to 7 inches of snow. So that is what we're seeing snow-wise. And this is the latest data that we have. So around 7 to 8 inches of snow. Remember, on top of what we already have outside. So if we only get an inch now, we have about 6, 7 more inches to go. If we get 2 inches, then we might have to recalculate what we have. But this is just what we have before this started. So this is not what has already fallen. This is what was forecasted before it fell. So basically, on the high end, we can see close to about 10 inches of snow. This is about 10 inches of snow, but you can see the snowfall totals amount, at least the rainfall totals amount, is very sporadic. You can see some is 0.6, and then go all the way up here, and the 5s, and then some is in the 7s, the 8s, but like I mentioned yesterday, everyone, if you're south of I-44 and you're watching my live stream right now, you can see up to a foot. So I'm talking about right on the border of Sullivan. We'll throw you guys in there. Potosi, Festus, DeSoto, Arnold, southern parts of Monroe near the Redbud area, Perryville. We'll throw you guys really in there. St. Genevieve, all the way down to Ironton and Farmington. It's all in the heaviest part of the storms. And you can see as we go up towards the north, that is still questionable. You heard it. The event is still going on, and the amounts are still questionable at this time. And unfortunately, we really just won't know until it's over and we get the full calculations of what exactly happened. And then we'll be able to figure out what model was right, which one to trust the next time, and things like that. Mom says, well, some of us have to work, and I do appreciate the essential workers and people who have to go to work regardless. We do appreciate you guys staying out there, and we do appreciate Mom and the dispatching police department for helping us out, because I can imagine very busy out there. So I appreciate all the road crews and anybody that does have to go out and about for work. We do appreciate you, but just make sure to take it slow, okay? We are lucky. We are lucky that it's all snow. And you can see that in the radar if we go back into the radar view. We are lucky that it is all snow right now. But yes, it still causes impact. So you can see the lighter amount is a little bit iffy down in the Festus. And then you can see some heavier snowfall as we get towards the St. Louis, the Metro St. Louis. So that is what we're watching. Chris, oh, hey Chris, how's it going, buddy? Says, keep up the great work, Kenny. I really do appreciate that. You know, like I said, I do really appreciate your guys' comments. You know, it gives me a lot of motivation, makes me want to blush. So you guys need to calm down. Calm down, everybody. I do appreciate the comments. And let me get the drawing tool here. And you can see as we get towards the top part of the screen here, you can see that we do have more of the heavier bands. You can see the darker colors of the heavier bands that are setting up right across our area. So, whoa, I have all the OGs coming in. What's up, Lou? How's it going? Glad to see you. Hope all is well. Hopefully your kids are doing good. Congratulations on both. Hopefully those are nice and healthy. So glad to see you. Hope everything is good. Wow, we haven't talked in a while. So glad to see you in here. You can see the traffic cameras here around the TKW coverage area, the coverage spots that we do. Down south, you can see the lighter band of snow. Roads are keeping up, but it's just because we have the powdery of the snow. So the powdery of the snow, as cars go over it, it'll blow it, take it with it. But remember, you know, in my personal opinion, look at the camera right here. It does not look that bad. And, you know, we have every right to say that it's not that bad. So, but just the main event is coming later. The main event is on its way. It's going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's going to happen. So let's take a look at our rooftop cam here at Oakville, Missouri, courtesy of Oakville WX here. Wind's not gusty at this time, but you can see we do have the snow piling on top of the roof here. So wintry-like conditions here, but not windy. We're not really expecting any blizzard-like conditions, so that is great news. So you can see here at the Oakville Studios on top of the roof, this is looking towards the southwest, very winter wonder-like. Let's see if I have the other camera pulled up here. This is over at the Creve Coeur Airport, not too far away from our studios. And you can see snow's coming down. It is covering the airport ramp out there as well. So snow is coming down. Snow across the area, a little bit gusty, but you can see we're not having any visibility issues at this moment. Not having any gusty winds that are causing any blizzard-like conditions. So that is the live look outside of the Creve Coeur Airport. And our ring camera is not loaded up here, or we will show you out here at the studios here. But let's take a look back at our camera wall, I should say. Camera wall here. Let's take a look. Let me get this loaded up here. I just got to add one thing. But before we do that, we will take a look at Alton. We got cameras in Illinois, everybody. We are working very hard on getting our Illinois folks with cameras. You guys just don't have a lot of live camera feeds that are public and available. So that is that. But this is out there in Alton. The temperature is 2 degrees. Feels like 0. So that is very warm outside. You guys might need Gatorade, because you guys are going to be sweating out there in Alton. But you can see that's looking towards the lake. A little bit of visibility issues, not too much. You can't really see the big bridge out there. But look at the river out there in the distance. The river is starting to get iced up and snowed up. So snow is everywhere. Everybody is seeing snow. So we want you to stay inside, not away from windows. We want you to stay inside and just enjoy the moment, okay? Enjoy the nice snowfall, because we usually get one of these once a year where we get the heaviest snowfall around the area. So that is on the Illinois side. You can see everybody is seeing the snow. It's just how it happens. And looking around the area, like I said, roads are staying okay. Roads are staying okay, and we can load up the cameras here, take another look around the area. Let them load up real quickly here. And this is towards 270, towards the Illinois side, the north half of North St. Louis County. And you can see roads are helping, but just like I said, when we get later and we have lots of snow coming down and then the salt starts getting ineffective, that's when we'll have our concerns. So right now, it's not too big of a concern, but we still need to be outside, and we don't need to be on the roads at all. So that is what's going on. But how are you guys handling? Are you guys getting a little bit of cabin fever? Are you guys already bored of being inside? It's 11:25. Are we bored being inside already? The scene while we're looking here, any traffic crashes? Not seeing any crashes, so most of the area is doing just fine. And let's pull this over here as well so we can take a look. Most of the roads for MoDOT is reporting mostly covered. We will get to the Illinois side in just a second, but most of the roads are partly covered. And as we get further to the southwest, near the St. James, and we can't forget about our folks in Rolla, they're reporting covered roads, but you can see even the southwest part, the roads are still doing okay. So, like I said, this is not the main event, so don't underplay it. Don't want you to underplay it, because, like I said, this is not the main event. If this was the main event, we will be happy. We will be happy if this was the main event, but it's not the main event. We still have much more. So don't be fooled by seeing these low amounts. You can see this all the way down in Springfield. They're not even having a lot right now. And we'll show you down in Sikeston as well. And remember the snowfall totals. We're not getting the snowfall totals right now. We're getting them later. You can see down in Sikeston where the amounts are a little bit higher. It is a little bit more elevated of the risk down near the Hayti area. Rob says, no, I'm happy. It's my day off work. Oh, yes, me too. I'm off today and tomorrow. So this could not come any better because, one, I can stay up to date around the clock with the updates. I'll have plenty of time for the updates. So me too. I'm glad. And that's the good thing as well. Most of us are off on the weekends. Most of us don't need to go anywhere on the weekends. So that is good. John says, thank you for the consistent updates. Much appreciated. Oh, you're very welcome. And the updates are not going to stop. You're going to see more of me outside in the elements as well. And more live streams are coming. If you're just tuning in, we're not going to be live all day. We are going to have some breaks because there's just not a lot to talk about when it snows. Basically, hey, everybody, it's snowing. So that is that. So there's really not much to, look at and, overreact, overhype the event. We're just looking how it is. And, honestly, it's not looking too bad. Like I said, it's not looking too bad, especially around our area, in my honest opinion. But remember, these are going to change. Like when we have our live stream later, these cameras are going to get a little bit nasty. And then we're going to have to deal with the darkness. Temperatures are going to be cold. So even after this event, we will have to worry about refreezing because it looks like on Wednesday, we're going to get around the freezing mark. You can see as we go into the models. Let's pull up the models. It does look like we're going to get into the freezing mark, but the problem with that, if we have any melting, it's going to refreeze. So this, we may have the snow impacts, but the impacts could prolong for a couple days. A couple days, you heard it correctly. A couple days, the impacts, because we could have thawing out, refreezing, cold temperatures around. And you can see as we go through the rest of the day, temperature-wise, and as we go into Sunday, we're not warming up. We're not warming up. We may warm up as we get closer to the end of the event, but we will only warm up to about 15 degrees. John says, thank God for PlayStation. Oh, yes. PC gaming, Xbox, PlayStation, we love those. Those come in very handy. But look at Monday. Look at Monday. While we're on the live stream, I want to emphasize this. We're going to be talking about this nonstop in the video. But this is the temperature. The temperature on Monday at 6 a.m. when you're going out the door is -1. There's no temperature that's going to be above 0. We're going to be below 0 on Monday. And you can see by the time we get to lunchtime, it's only 10 degrees. And then we quickly fall back off again. And then we'll have a heat wave coming to our area Tuesday. We will hit 28 degrees. So if there's any, that's when salt will be effective. So out of all these days of the winter storm, Monday is going to be the best day where the salt will work. And you can see some of the pre-treatment is working right now. But we'll see how that goes into the overnight hours. Wednesday as well, we're going to start cold again, but we'll see a slight warm-up. This model is not really seeing a warm-up, but you can see as we go all the way through the week, it's going to be warm. And you can see February 2nd is the closest day that will hit 30 degrees. So like I said, you can see all the purples on the screen, and you can see the whole entire week. We'll go more in detail with this in our video tomorrow evening, but look at this. 10, but this is the big day. And you're probably wondering what the wind chill is going to be since we're already below 0. And keep in mind, I want to educate you guys why we have a cold weather advisory instead of a warning. The National Weather Service says the wind chill has to be below -25 temperature and wind chill. And then they will consider throwing out the warning. I think it should already be issued because I almost think schools should be closed on Monday just for the temperature. Not even if we have road impacts, but for the temperatures. We don't want the kids to stand out there at -1 degree temperatures. And look at the bus stop. Look at the temperatures. Look at the wind chills. Look, I'm going to zoom in so I can emphasize this. If it's not the snow impacts, it's the temperatures, it's the wind chills. I don't think this is getting talked about enough. Look at the temperatures for the wind chills. This is Monday morning at 6 a.m. -16, -17, -20 down in Rolla. So look, like I said, I want to emphasize this. The Monday morning wind chills are going to be brutal. This is what we need to take seriously. You can see up near Jerseyville, Alton area, -20. And, you know, just for the fun part, it's not fun for them, but it's fun to look at. Look at up near Minnesota. Look at Minnesota, the wind chills for Monday. When we have the wind chills here, look at their wind chills. I think it's pretty extreme, yes. Let's see. -32. This is up near Minnesota. -33, -37, -40. Do you guys think you guys can handle that? -40-degree wind chill. That's the feel-like temperature. -40 degrees. That is crazy. I don't know how they do it up there. I don't even know what I would do. Does the heat even keep up at that point when it's like -40-degree wind chill? Like, do you have to set the heat on 90? I don't know about that, but I do want to let you guys know there is a little bit worse spots than where we are. So, just want to throw that out there. But let's take a look back at our highway cameras. And like I said, really not that much to update on here. You can see not really too much going on. Highways are staying clear. And we'll take a peek out here. Light flurries, not moderate flurries, are happening. So the snowfall total is really not going to accumulate that much. So that is that. Excuse me. Looks like some of the cameras have frozen, but like I said, MoDOT will say for now they're keeping up, but you know, we just haven't got into the worst part of the event. So that is what is happening right now. Let me just check a couple updates here. Yeah, so looks like the forecaster behind the scenes that we have Josh here is saying that this is not, he wants me to emphasize that this is not the event. There is still plenty to come. The models are showing it, the data show it. We already showed that it is coming. So we need to stay prepared. Let's not let our guard down just because you're seeing the live cameras on the screen. Not as bad, but all this traffic that's out there, we need to share this live stream so we can talk to all the 2 million people in the St. Louis County and the surrounding areas that we don't need to be on the road. Even though it's not light, it's going to change. I promise you. I'm fairly confident that it's going to change. So, you are greatly appreciated. Oh, I do appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. And like I said, the point of the live stream is not the, gain followers, but I just want to show you. I know we mentioned this already, but hey, let's go back here. It's just so exciting, that's all it is. Let's see if we can take this off. And let's see if we can go here. Not sure if we can minimize it. Yeah, you see this, everybody? Look at this. Yes, we are live. 892 of you have followed my weather page. 892 plus more trust me with the weather to be accurate, honest, and reliable. And I really do appreciate that. We're so close to 900, so make sure to spread the word that we are always around the clock providing timely updates. I really do appreciate that. But basically, starting to come down to, we're at the point where there's really not much else to talk about. I mean, there's really nothing. I mean, it's snowing outside. You see it on the cameras here. There's more snow to come. And the predictions are, so far in good shape. So, like I mentioned before, the snowfall is still coming. We already discussed this last night that this first round is behaving how it should. It's following our analysis correctly. We just have to see at any point during the day if we have any breaks in the action. If we have breaks in the action, that could lower the snowfall totals. If we have less breaks in action and it's just snowing all the way till about 6 p.m. on Sunday, we will have the higher end totals. That's basically how it is. So we just have to see if there's a break. But winter storm warnings continue. They did extend it yesterday to 6 p.m. just to be on the safe side. Cold air, we just got done talking about that, is around. So cold air is not going anywhere at all. And if you're curious, we're getting more snow than Michigan. So Michigan folks are a little bit happy about that. They passed us the snow. But you can see, let's put the radar back in motion so you can see how this is going. And if you're wondering why it's going to be snowing all day compared to other events, the last couple of events we had is almost like Clipper system. It just comes down, clips us, and it goes bye-bye. This is a true southwestern storm. It has all the energy, and it just pushes up, and it brings the snow, sleet, all the 9 yards of stuff. So it's moving slow because this is not a Clipper system. This is an actual system. And it will be a really rough shape if, there was severe weather involved and it was 90 degrees. If it was 90 degrees, we'll be talking about major severe weather. So, glad that's not that. But do you guys prefer the severe weather or the snow? Do you guys prefer significant snow or severe weather? Let me know in the chat. I'm curious. I think my thing is more entertaining the track and forecast when there's severe weather. Uncle Lou says, when should we see the bulk of the snow for today? Bulk of the snow is coming in the afternoon. Right now, it's just the light part. It's just the appetizer. So, like I said, it's just the appetizer right now. So, let's go real quick. We'll go to the timing just so you can see it again. This is, let's see, do we have the newest data coming in? Okay, we do have newest of the Euro. Not sure how far that goes. Looks like Mama is asking someone to take her shift tomorrow. Hopefully that works out. Hopefully that works out. If not, you might have to spend the night. But tomorrow morning, I'm just letting you guys know, going to be honest with you, tomorrow morning is not going to look pretty. Today, we weren't waking up to snowfall. Tomorrow, we're waking up to snowfall. I agree with you, Rob. Severe is the way to go. But anyways, let's go to the timing. Timing right here, everybody. Share the live stream. We're going over the timing. Timing is happening right now. So, right now, we're heading towards 12 o'clock. Everything is going okay. Everything is good. But look, you see as we get into the evening time, you can see around 6 p.m. Let's see if we can throw this. No, we'll take this out. So this is 6 p.m. And then we go towards 9 p.m. And look at the heavy snow bands. See the darker colors? That's where the bulk of our snow is coming. So, Uncle Lou, you're asking about the bulk of the snow right here. Right here is when we're going to see the bulk of the snow. And see how it gets darker around the area too. And then as we go into 6 a.m., more heavy snow bands are coming. This is when we're going to see the heaviest part of snow. And it looks like by 6 p.m., it will be a little bit gusty on the backside. But by 6 p.m. the evening time, it will be okay. The event will be done, but the roads might not be passable. So I want to let you guys know. So we'll go back into timing again. Right now, just a little bit light, maybe some brief burst of snow, but once we get into the afternoon, especially the evening time, into the overnight hours, will be the heaviest part of the storm. Now, we will be live probably starting about 7, 8 o'clock, and we're going to be going all the way, probably, who knows how long we're going to be going, but that is what's going to be happening. So, the bulk of the snow, the heaviest part is going to be the early parts of the morning. Mom is saying, what time should I leave to get to work by 6 a.m. tomorrow? If you're at work already, just stay at work. Because, like I said, the bulk of the snow is going to be coming. So, and remember, it's not like the bulk of the snow, you'll be okay. It's the bulk of the snow and the chemicals are eventually not going to work. Not going to work. So, because we're still forecasting total 8 inches, maybe a foot at most. So, like I said, the heavy snow is still on the way. Now, there is a slight chance that we could get a break and it would limit the totals, but at this point of the game, I do not see that happening. It's always possible, but it's just not looking likely. Let's see if this has about the same timing here. Yeah, you can see as we get into, this one does the overnight hours is when it starts to pick up. And look at the sleet line. The sleet line trended a little bit north. So down near Farmington, that would be something to note in the early parts of the area. But you can see 2 a.m. Look how heavy this is. So all models are predicting the overnight hours into the early morning hours that we're going to have the heaviest snowfall. So the main event is what I'm saying is tonight and to the early parts of the morning. So that is what we're expecting. So we'll probably have a live stream tonight, watching everything, and then we'll have one in the early parts of the morning as well. And then, of course, we'll do more live updates outside. But right now, everything is on track. This is just the pre-event. Just the pre-event. That's why the roads are looking okay. So you have to get off in the afternoon. Preferably over probably the next few hours. I think you'll be okay going home. But going back will not be as easy. So right now you're probably looking like, oh yeah, I could probably make it. You probably could. But just wait till later. Mom says the Jeep will be fine. It's supposed to be able to climb mountains. As far as mountains, is it the Missouri mountains, aka hills? Or are we talking like Mount Everest? Yes, that is a good point, Jeanette. Aunt Jeanette. Welcome to the live stream, by the way. It looks like MoDOT is plowing. Look at the bottom part of your screen if you missed it. But Jeanette said, remind people if they go out around 6 p.m. tonight, it's going to be dark and they'll really have to be careful. That is true. Remember, this is not summertime. The sun is not going down at 8, 9 o'clock. So it's going to be very dark. It's going to be tricky. You're not going to be able to see. And we're also going to have slick spots. Remember, dry powdery snow is just as slick as ice. So that is what we're going to have to watch. And remember, chemicals are not really going to do a really good job when we have a lot of snow coming down at once. So, like I said, early parts of Sunday and any travel after this evening is a big no-no. So, right now, it's, passable. We don't want you out. You can see a lot of traffic. But once, especially we get into the evening, once we come back onto the live stream, it's a big no-no. A huge no-no. Don't go out in this storm. Like I said, I know it's only snow. I had messages. People said it's only going to be snow. It's not going to be that bad. But dry, powdery snow is just as slick. So it's just as slick. So that is a great point. And make sure also as well, make sure you're checking on your pets and livestock, make sure they're not outside, and if they do have to be outside, make sure they're bundled up. Remember, they get cold just like us, so we want to limit time outdoors no longer than 30 minutes, even if you're sledding and if you're bundled up. Make sure you recognize the symptoms of frostbite. Make sure you know what that is, so we don't want any other emergency as well. So does anybody have any questions? It looks like we've been on here about an hour or so. I think that's good. Like I said, there's really not much. You can see plows are going up on 270 right now. Like I said, there's really not much craziness going on right now. The main show will be tonight. That will be the big weather maker. But if you haven't already, if you want to, we are live on the YouTube. So I know a lot of people have to come back in for the live stream, but we are on the YouTubes. Let's see, it's going to pop up. So you can see we're on the YouTubes, and it looks like we did have a comment here, snowing good near Potosi. So that was a little bit ago. We are on the YouTubes, and you can actually, on YouTube, you can turn on post notifications. So anytime I go live, you'll immediately get updated. Anytime I post a new video, you'll get updated, so you'll never miss a notification. So you don't always have to check back on the Facebook page. You'll see more updates, but as far as live coverage and videos, you can always stay alert. And there's multiple ways you can watch YouTube. So on TV, phone, computer, stuff like that. You can always keep me open in the background. So that is that. So that is what we're looking at, and you can see right there, Team Kenny Weather. That's how you follow right there, and you turn on post notifications. So that is just one tool right there. And we'll check to see if we have any snowfall reports coming in. I don't think we have any right now. No snowfall accumulations right now at the moment, which is good. We're not really having a whole bunch of snowfall totals. A lot of snowfall totals towards the south. We have about 6 inches, mostly snow, but some sleet. But it's very quiet in the snow department. So that is very good news. But remember, this shouldn't be a surprise. We're right on schedule. Now, if this happens later, then we will be surprised. But right now, everything is just okay. So I think right now, I'm not going to overstay my welcome on the live stream here. There's just not a lot to talk about. Snowstorm is going on, but we're going to save our batteries, save our energy for around 6, 7 p.m. when it really starts to get going. So we'll be posting updates all the way through up to the live stream, but what's counting on the live stream, another live stream between about 6 p.m., 8 p.m. for the live coverage. And that is the coverage where you want to bring the popcorn. We're all not going to work on Sunday, okay? We can all stay up. So let's tell the family, bring the family. We have tons of seats open at our evening show. Free admission as well, just no drinks are provided. Bring your own beer, bring your own alcohol, bring your own food to the live stream, but it's going to get crazy. These cameras are going to go wild. We're probably going to see some crashes start to uptick as we go into the evening, but I really do think the evening time and to Sunday is a big no-no. Please do not travel. I'm talking in the microphone. Please do not travel tonight or at all. You shouldn't be even traveling right now. Don't travel at all, please. Don't go anywhere on Sunday, okay? Please don't. You don't want to. You're going to wake up and you're going to see close to a foot of snow on the ground, okay? And more is going to be adding to it. So please tell everybody that you know to take this seriously, and we do not need to be out like on tonight, and when we go into tomorrow for our live streams, we want these cameras to be empty. The only thing we want to see is those essential workers that have to be out, and we want to see those bright yellow MoDOT trucks. That's the only thing we want to see. We don't want to see people going out because they're bored. We don't want to see that at all. So that is that. John says, just hoping the electric doesn't go out. You're right on the border. You can see a little bit of sleet, but with this dry, powdery snow, we're not expecting power outage. And before I head off for now, remember we're going to save our energy for later. Right now, far as power outages go, let's take a look at the power outage map. The main power outages are in Texas right now. The main power outages is Texas into Louisiana. And remember, like I said last night, yeah, look at the ad, Generac. Not sponsored. We don't have any sponsorships on here. Ad free. And you can see Louisiana has 11,000 power outages. This is where most of the ice accumulations. And Texas, 54,000 people right now. And one thing as well I was noticing, so I drive down to Springfield and back Monday through Friday. I saw power crews going south on I-44 to help out with the ice accumulations. So that's that. Okay, we just got our first report, everybody. Just coming in. Franklin County, the Sullivan area, we just got a report of 1 inch of snow as of 11:20. So, like I said, not much. Remember, we're only, like we said in our update, 1 to 3 inches. So, right now, so far, so good with the totals. Remember, most of it is coming later. So, Jeanette says, Uncle Eric said, don't forget about the NFL football games tomorrow. Yes. I'm not sure, did they cancel any of the games? I know there was talk about some of the games, but I don't think they're anywhere close in the warning. Yes, so it looks like we have the Rams and the Seahawks, and I guess since we're looking at football, who do you guys think is going to win? Okay, so we do have snowfall reports coming in. 1 inch coming from Clarkson Valley. I think that's almost near Chesterfield area in St. Louis County. 1 inch of snow, but Broncos is going to be okay, snowfall, and obviously Seattle is going to be good. So no impacts to the game. So like I said, lots of time to watch the game. And we will, just because we want to watch the games too, we will not be live past 2 o'clock on Sunday. Because we're going to be watching the playoff games or the conference championships. But who do you guys think is going to win? I know the Chiefs aren't in there, but who do you guys think? I think the Patriots will probably only win because, the backup quarterback, we don't know about him. And then I think the Rams and the Seahawks is going to be a good game. If I was to watch one heavily, it will be the Rams versus Seahawks. So, that is my prediction. So, but as far as power outages go, Missouri, we do have some customers out. Not sure where. Looks like we just have sporadic amounts, but everybody's doing good around our side. And if we go on the Illinois side, we can't forget you guys. No power outages are expected over there as well. So, major power outages you can see right where the northeast part of Texas and maybe some other near Somervell County and Hood County are experiencing some power outages there. But I don't see us turning into widespread. And remember, Texas is fat. So, of course, they're going to have a lot more customers. It's going to look a lot more extreme. So, but I don't think we're going to be on the leaderboard as well. So, power outages just do not look likely. Oh, hey, Christina. How's it going? I seen you guys over at the Grand Canyon. I seen pictures. It looks very, very much inviting compared to what we're going on. But Kyle said the Seahawks and the Patriots. The Patriots? Okay. Are you into football, Christina? What is your prediction? I'm curious about your prediction. My personal prediction is I'm going with the Seahawks. I know they were formed the St. Louis Rams, but I don't know. Seahawks, if they bring their A game like they did the last game, I think they can win. And the Patriots, it's just because they have the quarterback. Now, the Broncos backup quarterback, can pull through and, be the Bo Nix, then that would be. But isn't it funny how most of the common quarterbacks got injured? Like, you had Lamar Jackson got injured. You got Patrick Mahomes got injured. And now you have Bo Nix that is injured. Like, you see how like some like the popular quarterbacks are getting injured? Isn't that a little bit interesting? It says, oh, Christina says we got to see snow. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I was telling Kyle that there's probably at least an inch of snow. I mean, you can come to Missouri. We have lots of snow available, free of charge. You can take it back with you free of charge. We'll help you ship it out as well. So if that's something you're interested, let me know, and we'll more than happy to get you some snow. But I think so far, everybody, I think there's just, not really too much updates. The main event will be this evening. So, like, bring the whole family. Let me be on your phone and computer, TV, everywhere. Let me be inside your home or whatever you're watching, because the main event is coming up later. So, the big event is coming up later. Like the moderate snow accumulations and road coverings will be possible throughout the rest of the day. Like I said, 1 inch of snow already. Woodson, Terrence, and St. Louis County observation so far 0.7 inches of snow. So far the amounts are holding, but the main event is this evening. So, like I said, let's go back to a regular schedule of programming. We'll continue post updates. We'll have a radar update right after this. So right after this, we'll have a radar update. We'll do some more updates outside. And then our big show. Make sure you spread the word, everybody. Our big show is coming tonight. So I want to see every single one of you. All 892 of you. I want to see you guys here tonight, because that's going to be the main event. And we really don't want to be out. We're not going to be out and about. It's not going to be safe. It's going to be the worst part of the storm. Right now, it's not the worst part. The worst part is still brewing up. It is still on the way. So, that is that. Let's see. Do you think Louisiana is still using Old Bay seasoning? Yes, Louisiana is using Old Bay seasoning. We haven't got to the point where we're going to use toasted ravioli, but they are using Old Bay seasoning. And I heard it is a little bit effective out there. So we might have to take notes for the next snowstorm, but we'll just have to play by ear. Alrighty, so I think we're going to start wrapping up the live stream here. Because, like I said, we're going to charge our batteries for later. And like I said, spread the word. We're coming back on between about 6 and 8 p.m. or 6, 7 p.m. Whatever you want to do. We're going to post that so you guys can remember that. And that one will probably be way longer than this one, because, lots of stuff to talk about. But right now, everything is holding. We're just going to be monitoring the situation and provide updates as needed. And if necessary, we'll have a live break-in of the winter weather coverage, but I don't see that happening till the evening time. So lots of seats later. So tell the whole family, tell everybody that you know that we'll be back live again. You guys love these coverages. I love doing it. Perfect. So without further ado, I think we're going to slowly wrap up the live stream. Everything's holding as normal. Nothing's going on. We have no tornado warnings, even though we had that big oops in the early parts of the live stream. Go back into the live stream and watch it. The tornado thing went off, saying there was a tornado warning that just got issued. No tornado warnings, no snow-nados, no thunder snow. None of that's going to be happening. Just a classic winter storm coming through the St. Louis region with significant impacts possible. Alright, without further ado, we'll see you guys later, okay? Or do you guys, or we'll take a quick poll. We have here real quickly. Hey everyone, I have a question, because we could do this for now and then restart later. So, Facebook only lets you do 8-hour coverages at a time before they just knock you off and they say goodbye. So I have a proposal. So since we're wrapping up the live stream, let me get this added here. Go to here. So take a look here. What I'm about to show you is our 24/7 live stream. It's a beta test. It's not quite there yet. You know, we want to make sure it's right. We can leave up the 24/7 live stream until we come back for our later coverage in the evening. And I'll show you what that looks like. So we can leave up the live stream and it'll have, you know, the radar. Here, I'll take a look here. So you can see here, can't see my face, but it'll have the live radar on your right side, a couple messages up top, have a little graphics in the top left corner, and the live cameras down in the left hand corner rotate. So we can leave that up, so you know you can just check back regularly, or we'll just pause for now and then we'll come back later. So let me know what you guys think. If you guys want to see the 24/7 live stream testing phase stay up, so it'll still show that we're live, or we'll just head out for now and come back later. So let me know in the chat real quick. If we don't get any responses, then we'll just head off very shortly. But as far as live coverage for now, we're going to be taking a break and we'll have more coverage in the evening time. So I'm just checking a couple things. Looks like we have some snow plows outside of our apartment. So that is very good news. They said they're going to stay on top of it, so we'll see. But if you're just tuning in, we're getting ready to wrap up the coverage. But if you guys would like to see the live stream, the 24/7 live stream, stay on. Just let me know in the comments. If not, we will be back later this evening. But we'll continue to post updates around the clock of what's happening to keep you informed. So let me know real quickly. If not, we'll start wrapping up the live stream and we'll play the outro. So let's give a couple more minutes here. Appreciate all the likes and follows so far during this. I really do appreciate that. Thank you. Really, I do appreciate that. All right, and without further ado, you know, snowstorm is not the main event. We're going to see more. We're going to see more later. Yes, so we're going to see more later. And that's when we're going to be back on live. And we'll see you. We might go outside for another update. And we'll be posting updates. So for now, we're going to sign off for now. But we'll be back and we'll be on around the clock on the Team King Weather Facebook page. So stay safe, stay inside, monitor my Facebook page, and if you want to be notified when we go live, follow us on YouTube, Team King Weather on YouTube, and you'll be notified, sent a notification to your phone when we activate that next live stream. So stay safe, stuff your face with all the food that you have, don't get bored, you'll be okay, and we'll see you back here very soon for more continuous live winter coverage.